Okay, so I feel like if I don't make this video now, I'm never gonna make it. But I'm also like, there's like a lot to say and I'm probably gonna miss a lot of it. I'm supposed to be walking into Home Goods right now, but we're doing this first. My bootcamp experience. In my opinion, bootcamp's not hard, it just fucking sucks being there. And the only communication you have to the outside world is obviously letters eventually, once you're a few weeks in. Mail is slow as fuck. Or the only other connection you have is like, once your, RDCs start getting more relaxed with you, you can ask them questions. So we would ask them like about sports and they would tell us that Google was the bulletin board in the hallway. You're just so, all you have are your shipmates in your division basically. Back to the mail thing. If you're going to boot camp, I would really stress to your family and friends to write you. That helps immensely. There's also I don't know if it's an app or a website. It might be both, but it's called Sandbox. It's just a faster way to communicate with people. I don't know if it's just for boot camp or in the military in general. If your family sends you a letter like Monday, you'll get it Tuesday. Like it's that fast, and it comes with like a return address envelope. I was in a 900 division in boot camp, which is like the performing division. So there's regular rifle div, there's spec ops, which is an 800, and then performing, which is a 900. The only one you're technically like chosen for going in is if you have like a spec war contract already. You won't just randomly get put into an 800 division if you're not supposed to be there. Between the rifle div and the 900 division, the 900 division, you get chosen to be put in a 900 division. It's nothing crazy. I wouldn't even stress about it. Like, so what the performing divisions do, like my division was like state flags and the color guard and like drumline. I was a Tennessee flag, so we performed at our graduation and then 2 graduations like the weeks prior. So we would do that on Saturdays versus whatever a rifle div does. Everyone's like, oh, you had it easier. But like, we still got beat. We got beat in the drill hall when we would have drill practice because we would fucking suck or we couldn't hold the flag properly. I mean, again, I can't speak for a rifle div. We had to do everything that they did and then go to practice for drill, if that makes sense. So I was in an integrated division. My compartment, there was 40 of us females, and then across the hallway, the males lived, and there was like 40 of them. Whenever we would go anywhere to the galley or learn how to stencil or fold our shit, like we would all be together. The only time we weren't together is when we were sleeping or showering. With the rifle divs, they do something called brother-sister div. If the division number is like 078 and 079, there would be the one big compartment, and it would be 078 and 079 females. On the other side, same thing for the males. I feel like honestly this is not gonna make sense until you get to boot camp, or if you've already been through boot camp, you know what I'm talking about. For my division, our compartment, we had a senior div and then a baby div. When you're in P days, you're in the Pearl, which is like everyone goes through processing no matter what division you're gonna be in, and that's like 2 weeks, or it was 2 weeks for me. So then once you get to your actual ship, which I was in ship 2 for the special recruits, there was our senior div. I want to say they were 910. I don't know what exactly they were. They lived in there for like 4 days, and then they graduated, and then we had the compartment all to ourselves for a couple of weeks until we were about to graduate, and then we had a baby div come in and live with us. There's a constant rotation of the performing divs coming in and out. PT's not hard. I mean, I know they just changed the fitness standards, but if you're going into the military and you can't even fucking, like, kind of be in any sort of shape, like, I don't know what you were expecting. Like, you're gonna get fucked up. There was people in my division who got ASMO'd for failing the final PFA, which, like, sucks, but at the same time, it's like, you had however much time to prepare. And some people I know signed contracts really fast. Like, I was one of those people, but I was also preparing before I even signed that contract. So, I don't know. Like, you will get set back if you can't hit the fitness requirements. The baby div that we got into our compartment, they were there for like 1 or 2 days, I think it was. And then like 10 of them were gone. We're like, where the fuck did they go? And they failed their baseline PFA. They did all that work. to show up for like 2 days and get screamed at for nothing, and then it was like, see ya, bye, after they went through P days. So I mean, that sucks. I'm not a really emotional person, so like all my emotions were pushed down, whatever. You don't even know it. This is what happened for me. There was just a buildup of like emotion, and one day I just fucking lost it. Like, I basically got called out for having an attitude, and there was people in my division that had worse attitudes than me. So I was so frustrated. I just started crying when my division went to the galley, and then I stayed behind. I was talking to my petty officer. Emotion will hit you at some point. Like, for me, it was like involuntary. I didn't even know. That was the second time I cried. The first time I cried, I was in dental. There's like a whole bunch of build up to that, but cried in dental when they were cleaning my teeth like a little bitch. Again, it was like just involuntary, but like the factors of that, like talking to the dental hygienist, and she was so nice. She was the first person that like actually had real conversations with you, and she was playing music, and like I was looking out the window. Like, you will get beat and you will get dropped, and it sucks at first, and then you just kind of get used to it. It sucks when you get issued your boots because they're heavy and you have to do flutter kicks and shit, and you're like, holy shit, this sucks. After a while, you're just like, they're like, all right, get on your face, and you're like, okay, fuck, here we go again. When we did shooting there, the range was down, so we didn't do any live fire. It was like a simulation. When you shot, the gun like vibrated. So that was my shooting experience in boot camp. A lot of people say don't go to medical, don't go to medical. There's little notes on the so the stalls, like the bathroom stalls, have like shower curtains. The stalls in my compartment, the shower curtain was like cloth, but the ones for the galley, don't get me wrong, they're like ratty and fucked up, but they were not like leather, but you know what I mean, like vinyl. So people would write notes on them and stuff. And what was I talking about before then? Oh yeah, they would say like, don't go to medical, you'll get asthma, you'll get this, you'll get that, you'll get set back, you'll be put on hold. Obviously those things happen, but if you need to go to medical for something, go to medical. Like, for me, I kept getting a rash under my armpits, and whether it was from the blue soap that you're issued or the deodorant they issued us, like something just wasn't happening for me, and I was sick of having this rash and itching it. So I was like, bro, I gotta go to medical. They ended up sending me to medical. All I did was get a chip from the doctor saying that I need to go buy Dove soap, and then I ended up buying like male deodorant too. If there's little things like that, don't be afraid to go. But if it's for something stupid, like, and you know you're gonna get SIQ, like sick in quarters for X amount of days, like that, I mean, use your discretion. A lot of people got fucked up when they got their wisdom teeth out. Thankfully, I had mine taken out like when I was in middle school, so I didn't have to worry about that at boot camp. So when you go in the gas chamber, there's like your entire division. There is like 5 rows of 14, something like that. The first row goes and you take off your mask, and then you have to have a cup because you're gonna be like snotting and like everything. You say your division, so you're like seaman recruit, blah blah blah, division, blah blah blah. First person says it, and they go down your whole line. Once the last person's done, that row's allowed to go out. The rest of the rows are still wearing the gas masks. Honestly, like, it sucks in the moment. It's the very last row to go, so I got to watch everybody else. When you take it off, it just feels like you have like this crazy sunburn, and I was fine for like 5 seconds. It like whipped up with this fan that was in front of us, and then it just hit me, and in the middle of my sentence, I was like, it burns and it sucks. And when we went in the gas chamber, I was sick as fuck. So afterwards, it cleared the shit out of me. I was so excited I wasn't sick anymore. You're literally fine like 3 minutes after you leave the gas chamber. Firefighting was pretty cool. Those like lectures, they're long as fuck, and you're just like, fuck. You're trying so hard not to fall asleep. Moment of truth. It's really not as scary as they make it seem. If you're a recruiter, and I'm going to tell you, don't stand up. If you want to be there, do not fucking stand up. This girl in my division, even though everybody knew don't stand up, she got up and was like, oh, when I was 4, I had anxiety or like some shit. Homegirl was in SEPs for however long. Like, we saw her in SEPs when we were still there. The fastest way to get out of boot camp is to graduate. So don't raise your hand in the moment of truth. Unless you're like, holy shit, I made a big fucking mistake, then just sit your ass down. Try not to fall asleep. Like, you'll be fine. My ship was right next to Freedom Hall, which is where you run. It's the indoor tracks. And then SEPs, I believe, is in ship 5. SEPs is pretty close to where my ship was, and they don't have their own galley, so they were in our galley a lot. You know who SEPs is when you see them. They have like older uniforms on, a lot of them. Their standards are just not where they are as if you're a recruit, like if you're going through boot camp still. I want to say they look homeless, but some of them just, you're like, fuck. A few of the people in my division got in fights with some of the girls, like in the head. I'm also a little indifferent to people who go into SEPs because my friend who went from the same dep station as me, she left a week after I did. I don't even know how long she was in boot camp, and I saw her. I was putting my outer garments on to go to church or something, and she said my name, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you here, you know? Seeing her there and stuff, like, it sucked. You're not gonna get along with everybody. There's gonna be people you fucking hate, like you'll argue about dumb shit, but like everybody's going through the same thing. Everyone's out of their element, so you have to understand, like, you're all there for a common goal, you know what I mean? There's an initial test that you take when you get to boot camp. It's like a written one, and then I believe baseline PFA, unless they've changed it. If you pass those two things, you'll go automatically from E1 to E2. It doesn't work for E2 to E3. Otherwise I would be an E3 because I passed those, but I am an E2 right now. I don't know what it's called, but when you get to the thingy where you do like knot tying, fuck, what's that shit called? My division fucking sucked at that shit. Battle stations at the end of boot camp, we're technically legally not allowed to talk about because we signed a fucking page 13, I think it was. I don't know, we signed something. You're gonna be fucking tired. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you go through, I think mine was on a Tuesday. You go through your entire day on Tuesday, and then you have battle stations Tuesday night, and you do it all fucking night, all fucking morning, and then it's like capping ceremony, and then you go back to your ship, and you go back through your fucking day, and then you go to bed on Wednesday night. So you're fucking tired. You're gonna be tired. After battle stations, when we went back to our ship and we showered, we marched over to the next, which is at like the front of base, to make our last phone call. Bro, I don't even know how we got there. Like, I was fucking sleep marching or some shit. Honestly, you'll probably fuck up like really simple things just because people are so nervous to mess up. Your A and B drawer that you have under your rack, it's really not that big. I mean, it's not small, but it's not big. It's literally like the size of a shoebox. It's probably like this deep and like, I don't know, this wide. So if you have like a certain face wash or something that you need or use or love, like, you're allowed to have that with you in boot camp. I just brought like my money and my cards and like my ID or whatever. I didn't bring it in a wallet. I just literally held them. I recommend bringing like some sort of tiny wallet, like even if it's something like this, just to hold it. I don't recommend just having it loose leaf like I did. I was like, I can't bring anything. But I also think there's a disconnect of what you can and can't bring between your recruiters. Learn 10 counts before you go to boot camp. It's literally a burpee with just like 2 extra moves, but you'll be doing it all day, every day, and flutter kicks. Even if you suck at push-ups, you'll get better at push-ups. You'll do something called divisional IT, where they just beat the fuck out of you, and you're just like, this fucking sucks. Even if you're dying, don't get up. A lot of times when our RDCs would turn around, like obviously we would stop what we're doing and be like, fuck, and then when they turn back around, we'd keep going again. So like shit like that's gonna happen, but if you're blatantly just like, I'm not gonna fucking do this, like, they're gonna stamp your hard card. Your hard card is basically like your report card. Literally, they rate everything you do in it, good, bad, like your test scores. I think it was the second test that we took, the second real test, aside from the one that I said originally that could rank you up. There's 2 other tests. The second one I failed the first time I did it. So you go and retake it. We got lucky in the fact that our retake wasn't until after the weekend, so we had extra time to study. A few of us went and we had to retake the test, so that was like nerve-wracking. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get Asmode if I don't fucking pass this test. Passed it with flying colors the second time. Oh, also before you go, know your rank and recognition. They quiz you on that a lot, especially when you're standing watch. If you can, look up the chain of command for RTC. They'll quiz the fuck out of you on that too. I mean, I'm sure some of them change here and there, but if you look up the current one, I swear those 2 things will like save your ass all the time. There's some people that I met there that I know like will be in my life forever. One of them I went to A school with. But then there's also people who are, I'm like, I fucking hated you. There's this one chick, me and her like mutually hated each other. That's fine. Like, you're not gonna get along with everyone. The galley sucks. You're gonna be eating those fluffy, stupid ass eggs. They had like a cereal bar. I didn't even eat cereal back home, but let me tell you, every meal, almost every meal, I had fucking cereal for every with all of it. When you're there, you only eat those 3 times. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, you don't have snacks. People smuggled food back in their cargo pockets to like our compartment. After a while, this one girl just started bringing cookies and leaving them on our RDC's desk. The only time we ever got a snack was after we ran our PFAs. We got a Special K protein bar, and bro, that shit was heaven on earth after those days. Captain's Cup. You do that the last week you're there, I'm pretty sure. It's fun. It's like pull-ups, sit-ups. There's a firefighter like dress out rope roll thing. There's volleyball, if I didn't say that already. There's like a sea bag race. Your entire division makes up like a chant and you perform it. The co-ed divisions go against each other, and then the all-male divisions go against each other. That's also like a fun thing you'll do near the end. There's also like a huge pizza party. I think it's the night before graduation, after you've done battle stations. So there's pizza like in the galleys while you're in boot camp, but this pizza party, they're just like on the table. They're like deep dish pizza. Honestly, it was like the best pizza I had for 2 months. So graduation's in the morning, and then you have all day until like, I think we had to be back by like 8 o'clock. They say like, don't have your phone or don't have this. Don't bring this shit back to your room or your compartment. My chief literally told us, he was like, I'm not gonna tell you to bring your phone back in here, but read between the lines. So bro, I snuck that shit. So in your dress blues, there's like 2 pockets in the front on the pants. My petty officer told us it was perfect size for a cell phone. That way, when you left that morning and you show up to the airport, like, you could be in contact with your family. They tell you to tell your family to like show up to the airport, but bro, that shit's early. So I'm not telling you to smuggle your phone back in at graduation, but it happens. There'll be like certain jobs in your compartment. Near the end, I was voluntold to be one of the trash POs, so it was fine. I got to go outside. I wasn't even mad about taking the trash out. So there's a standing compartment watch where you're right in the doorway. The other one is like you're the rover of your compartment, so you go and check in at the quarterdeck, or there's quarterdeck watch. If your division is asked to do quarterdeck watch, I would say do it. At least in my ship, it was way more chill than the compartment watch. Yeah, if you had that watch during the day, there was a lot of traffic from like people coming in the morning. And you make like the announcements towards the entire ship. The CO's top 6 are really huge in boot camp. One of them's no recruit to recruit contact. Even something as simple as writing someone a letter. This girl went to church in my division and gave this other girl notes. So then the girl who got the notes wrote the girl who took the notes a thank you letter. And then our RDCs found it. Both of them got asthma 2 weeks. Like, literally stupid ass shit. Just don't fucking do it. Once we started getting more comfortable with each other, we would like high five and shit, like secretly. Or when one of my friends got asthma, I like gave her the biggest, fattest hug in the head. I was like, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Hit me up after boot camp. Like, when you first meet your RDCs, of course, they're trying to scare the living shit out of you. Like, ours rolled into our compartment at the Pearl, and they did this like little about face, all 3 of them, and introduced themselves, and then they're like, your boot camp experience begins now, or something like that. And then they're like, get the fuck up, and you're just like, holy shit. Near the end, once they were almost done fucking seeing us every day, they got more chill and we could kind of like coke and joke with them. But once you get to that point, also be careful, because they're still like here and you're still fucking down here, you know? All right, I think that cuts it for a boot camp video. I'm sure there's like 80 other things I can mumble about, but we're gonna leave it there. Again, thank you for watching. If you have more questions, feel free to ask them. Other than that, first of all, I'm not going to Home Goods, but I will see you guys later. Bye.